back, all you rudimental ritualists. You've made it through all the way from the 3-stroke rough to the flam paradiddle diddle. Now it's time to move on to double stroke rolls. And in this case, the first one is the 5-stroke roll. So for those of you who've been working out of the book and just want something to compare it to, let me play that for you quick, and then I'll give you a few exercises that you can work on to get this rudiment down. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There you have it. Now, for those of you who may have noticed, it starts on the left hand. The 5-stroke roll of the rudimental ritual starts on the left hand, and that's just because coming out of the flam paradiddle diddle, it's a little easier to do. Now, for those of you who have not worked on it, here are a couple exercises to get you going. First off, the first thing I see after I give a lot of my students the double stroke roll basics, which is just right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, and you want to make sure the volumes are nice and even. So if we're going quiet, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. You want it to sound like this. You want it to sound like a nice even single stroke roll, but that's one exercise you can work on. So you can go 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Try and make it sound as much like that single stroke roll as possible. Another exercise you can do is 1 and 2, 3 and 4 with the single strokes, and then do double. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 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 2, 3 and 4. Now that might even be a little fast to start with, so don't be afraid to go slow with these, because the first thing people do once they get this down is they try and speed it up, and they do either one of two things. They either do all wrist strokes when they're trying to go fast, which is your wrist just can't move that fast, and you notice how it sounded. It kind of sounded chunky and kind of not nice and even. It sounded kind of ugly as far as that goes. And it's a good way to kind of hurt your wrist because you're putting a lot of pressure, you're closing your hands really tight, and you're not a good way to get going fast with those. And don't worry about going fast. That's why you want to start slow. The fast will come later. The other thing I see people do is they try and bounce it all. And that ends up with the volume of each one kind of sounding uneven. You end up sounding like... And it could, you end up with little... at the end, and it just, there's no... You end up almost doing a closed stroke roll, but that doesn't sound good either. So, for these, nice and slow is the way to go, and speed will pick up. And one thing I did, I would pick out a show I like, which is a half an hour, and I would just sit there with my practice pad, and I would just... Didn't matter if it was the same speed the whole time. You're working that double stroke roll, and then maybe you might experiment with a little bit of a controlled bounce. And what I mean by controlled bounce is you got a wrist stroke, and then you kind of want to either come back up, or let's see if I can do it with the left hand, and let it fall and close. So. It's almost like the free stroke roll. Well, that's essentially what it is. You can really exaggerate it. But I've found you can get a lot faster with... I'm not necessarily closing, opening all the way and closing. It's more of just a little... It's a precision type thing. So that's what just sitting down and... playing for a really long time. Now don't try to like that's too fast to speed up. Just nice and steady, and you'll have it down in no time. So Again, for review, a couple exercises for you. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... You can double them. You can go 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And the last one was, let's see, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And I've got one more for you, just to make this even longer and more rambling. Try putting those, think of triplets. So, and 2 and 3 and 4 and accent that first one, then double the 2 in between, and then go to this. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That'll help you with the second half of this part of the ritual. And I'll play it one more time so you can see how that goes. But let me show you the triplet part one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and kind of thing. So let me play that one more time, and then I'll let you get to it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you have it. I got in under 7 minutes, so woohoo! Get to work on that roll. Take your time with it. There's no rush for this one. It'll just come to you. I sat there and just played double strokes forever, and now it's just something I use all the time. I love it. So get to work on that, and we'll shoot for, I believe it's the 7-stroke roll after this. Can you guess why it's called that? We'll see you next time.